Rise and shine. You were out for a while. Thanks to me. Oh, sorry. Didn't introduce myself, did I? You probably wouldn't know if I did. Not because you're bad or anything, just because I don't make my name known anymore. Oh, you might remember me from a while back. They used to call me Lemillion. A hero among heroes. And then I lost it all. I guess you could say I didn't take it well. No, not well at all. So I had to do something about it. And wouldn't you know it, it just took a while. I figured out how to cancel out the meds. The ones that stole away my power, that is. Now I'm already much better than I used to be. Though I guess that's unfair to say to pass me. He tried his hardest for things. And I still do try my hardest, believe it or not. I think that's the best way to live. As for now, I'm just on the other side of the law. What I do just simply isn't considered ethical. So, the fact that you remind me of my sunshine really throws me back, you know? Well, you could say the turning point in my life was when I lost my sunshine, because I realized something. If you're powerless in this world, you have to struggle so much more than if you have that power. And so that's exactly what I had to do. I tried my hardest, tried to save them. But in the end, I just couldn't. Sad story, I know. But don't worry, it has a happy ending, right? That's why you're here. A bit tied up with me, but you could be worse for wear. I'd say out of the villains, you're lucky you got me. Just between you and me, I don't torture people. Never did sit well with me. And you don't seem like you're such a bad person yourself. Pretty cute, too. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want you to be my subordinate. Yes, it must be kinda shocking to work with the former #1 hero. But now that I'm a villain, I need to change a few things. I'm not trying to say that I'm the worst person around. Maybe I am. I'm not afraid to hurt people anymore. And that kinda scares me. I'm new to the whole villain thing, so do pardon me if you've heard it before, but I don't think it's in your best interest to say no. I'm saying all this because I want things to work out between us. Not just romantically, silly. That's only part of it. You see, my sunshine taught me some very important things. And instead of taking the bad out of things, I like to take the good. They wanted me to be happy, even though I failed them. And I wouldn't be on the bad side of the law if not for a few things, but it's kind of hard to tell you all this. But I think you deserve to know. More or less, the most important thing is, I still feel like a hero at heart. Just my motives and direction changed. What can I say? I can't forgive the people who did this. It would be injustice to the final words of my sunshine. You know, it's funny, you glisten just like them, but you're so much different, I'd never make a comparison. You're more like the moon. Isn't it funny? You both shine, just at different times. They'll always shine in my heart. Oh, about them? Well, I kind of mention them a lot because it still hurts to this day. I'm not the same as other people. I don't know how to deal with pain like that. So I just keep on going. As for today, I may be on the wrong side of the law and a wanted criminal, but I've only ever gone after people who deserve it. The difference is I go after villains and heroes. So I guess I'm more of an anti-hero if you want to get technical. I think the reason why they paint me as a villain is the way I kill people, though it's kind of merciful. Turns out if you rip someone's brain out, then they can't function. They'll just pass right then and there. I consider it a mercy thing. Like I said, I don't want people to suffer. I actually take care of animals these days. Strays that were left on the street, I feel a kindred spirit to them. And as much as it may make me a hypocrite, people I kill is to save others. And I don't expect you to believe me. Mostly because it's a complicated story. And all of this could be lies, from your perspective, right? So why don't I put it into perspective? I want you to be my subordinate. On the hero side of things. I can't possibly do this forever, and I know I'm gonna get caught someday. So, I want someone to continue making sure that the bad people get in trouble, at least. You don't have to go so gruesome as to kill them or anything. That's more of a personal preference, so that they can't cause more harm. They usually work their way out of jail anyways, and it's so dangerous to let them run free. What if an innocent person dies because of them? It's ironic. You'd think the villains were the ones that killed my sunshine. No. It's not. It was heroes. Fake heroes. I guess Stain was right in a way. Those fake heroes don't deserve it. And I never thought I'd think that way. If you'd met me 2 years earlier, it'd be a completely different story, but I'm different now. I have to be. Not because of any other big reason. I just have to be this way. If I'm not, then how would I ever face my sunshine if there's any kind of afterlife? I don't want that. If I'm gonna live, I'm gonna live by what my heart tells me to do. And it does tell me to go this route. So while people may say my smile's horrifying now, I don't know what else to put on my face. If I didn't smile, I'd probably cry. And that's not very cool. It sure doesn't paint a good picture to the animals that are already struggling. I want them to have a good life. Just like I want people to. In a way, I guess I'm still a hero. It's just not in the same way. Now I'm quite curious. Are you afraid of me? In truth, the reason why I tied you up isn't something menacing. I just thought it was better that way, so you wouldn't get the wrong idea and hurt me. I did kidnap you after all. I was just curious if you'd be interested. Unfortunately, if you're not, I'd have to kill you. I can't jeopardize the greater good. And it's not nice to think that way, I know. But if I don't, I can't live to that last wish. I'd be disrespecting my sunshine, and I'm not saying you're worthless at all. Nothing of the sort. You're worthwhile, and I want you to be able to live. But if you go against me, I just couldn't. It's nothing personal. Just, you should always follow your heart, right? I've just been following my heart ever since. Because I know it'd make it too sad if I didn't. They'd never see me the same if they're looking down from above. Say, Moonlight, do you have somebody that you like? You remind me of myself. I guess being the most blunt is the best way, right? I like your attitude with this. I think you understand me better than most. And, again, I don't mean to be some kind of scary, imposing figure. I just don't have a choice, otherwise I'd disrespect for their last wish. They said make the world a better place, and they gave me what they really felt in their last moments. And for a while there, I thought that my sunshine had lost their mind, but I realized it's not that. Maybe they were always that way. I just never saw it. I chose not to see it. I blinded myself to the truth. Then when I found out they had ties to... Well, I'm getting into details that I shouldn't even be sharing with you until I know what your choice is. Trust me, if you choose no, I'll make sure that it's painless. Okay? I promise I won't be bad. I've never hurt anyone ever, because it's a peaceful death. I figure it's better than what might happen in the future, so maybe it's a mercy killing. Though no matter what you choose, I'll try and never forget you. I've committed every face of somebody I've taken to try and make sure I never forget them. I bear the burden of all this, because I don't want anyone to feel as though I'm doing this because of numbers. It's not about that. Even if numbers are the greater good sometimes, that's not what inspires me. At this point, I need to keep things in check. That includes hero society and villain society. I guess I'm playing both sides, aren't I? Might seem pretty hypocritical, but I promise you, I'm doing this to the best of my ability. Some people say it's unsettling that I'm a killer who always smiles. He doesn't take anything that serious. But they misunderstand. I do take this serious. And while I'm smiling, it's only because I know I'm doing the right thing. At least in my heart. And if we don't trust our hearts, we're truly weak and helpless. It may sound like the way that I did things or do things now is quite brutal or grotesque, but I promise you, not a single thing I'm doing now, it isn't like that. I promise you that I'm not some kind of psychopath, and I'll be true to my word. After all, a man's word is very important, isn't it? That's why I told you your options right from the start. Don't you appreciate that kind of transparency? I knew you'd see things my way. So you do want to live. Well, living is the better choice, right? You can do a lot of good, too. We'll be keeping this city in check. You and I. Oh, but just a warning. If you betray me, I'll know, and I'll kill you right then. I won't hesitate, okay? It's just best to be upfront with these things. That way there's no false expectations, and no matter what happens, you'll understand, right? Well, I'm trusting you. Whether that works or not, I guess we'll see. Oh, and your quirk? Just know it's not going to work on me. I don't want to explain how, just in case you try and do something shady, but maybe later I will. Depends on if you earn that trust. Yeah, people say that I'm heartless, but trust me, I try and be as fair as possible. If I didn't, I couldn't ever be the person I want to be, the man I want to be. I've already known loss and love and all those things, but I don't want to give up on myself or my future, or anyone I care about. And believe me, I do care about a lot of people. It's just I can't be very open about it, now that I'm on the other side of things. I realize what it's like to be a villain, and I know by some definitions, I probably am a villain. And if that's what I need to be to get the job done, that's exactly what I'll be. You don't fear me too much now, do you? I mean, what's the worst that could happen? All I'd do is kill you. I mean, it wouldn't be a brutal death either, so I'm not like those psychopaths who will cut you up or something. Those people are sick. Oh yeah, and if you happen to know anyone like that, hero or villain, tell me. I'll kill them right away. Better keep them from doing more damage. Cruel and unusual. I don't like those people. Not one bit. And sorry if the conversation went to a dark tone. Let me reintroduce myself. I'm Mirio Togata, and this is my favorite place. You could see the whole city from here. Believe it or not, in some circles, they consider me a hero, even still. The only difference is, it's blurred on what that means. Heroes have been a lot of different things throughout history. I'd like to think of myself as a hero who brings change in the right direction. And maybe a villain who's one that actually has a heart. I do care about the people. I care about a lot of people, and these animals I take care of too. Oh, would you look at that? Looks like Starchy likes you. Ah, who's a good girl? That's right, Starchy. Atta girl. Who's a good Starchy? Yes, you are. Looks like Starchy really loves you. It's really nice that animals don't see things differently. They don't consider me anything bad, and maybe you remind me of them just a bit. Something about the way you've looked at me so far. Well, it started with fear. It seems like you've come to an understanding of me. I'm not exactly bad, I'm just blunt. Oh, and while we're on the subject, I think you're cute like a puppy, but more like a moonlight. Sorry, I guess I'm conflicted on how to view you right now. Mostly because I think you're adorable. I think you're very attractive too. You've got just the perfect amount of cuteness to hotness ratio. And that's not why I chose you, by the way. It's because you were a danger to my operation. And while I almost killed you, I think it's better that you live. I wanted to find a way to save you, and I did. See? Big thumbs up for that. Maybe we can be like partners. Partners in justice. At least that's what I'd like to call it. Though maybe my justice is a bit selfish. I make a lot of judgments that people normally shouldn't, and I'm aware of it. I know how unfair it may seem from the outside looking in, but what I do is based on a lot of passion. I don't just hurt people, I try and save them. I do end up trying to save people who are in bad situations. Believe it or not, I'm not the type of person who just goes about my ideals, forces them on others, really. Even though that might be hard to believe, given the situation of me kidnapping you. But if not, you might have exposed me, and then things would have been difficult for me to continue. I might have ended up in jail, and then a lot of people get to go free, or worse, they get to pin things that they did on me. And then people suffer because of it. As the greater good, it needs to have somebody to carry out the dirty work. And I realized that's what my sunshine wanted for me. They wanted me to be happy, and so I do wear the smile, not just for myself, but for them, for their memory, and maybe so that I could meet someone just like you. You are really cute, like I said, and it's a bit distracting, but I'd like to have you as my partner, maybe even more than a partner. I know this is probably not the best pickup line, but would you like to date, too? I guess that's a bit too blunt, right? Oh, I see. You're an admirer of me before I went down this path. That's interesting. I assure you, if you liked me then, you'll still like me now. I'm still good-hearted. I save people. I try and be a hero. Well, one kind of like All Might. If you mixed All Might and Stain, that's about what I'm going for. I know that might seem a bit, bad, but it's not. Trust me. Because I've got 100% more smiles. And a better smile at that. Trust me, we're gonna make things work out. And I promise I won't make you do anything too crazy. You can leave the dirty work to me. I'll do the remembering of the faces and honoring of the dead. I still do. Believe it or not, I go to the graves of everyone I've had to kill. And I try and say nice things to them. Wish them well. Leave flowers on their grave. Even if they were bad people, I don't believe they deserve something horrible to happen to them. And really, what's the worst that could happen? They just die. And a painless death at that. They probably don't even know any better. And that might sound incredibly morbid. No, it probably does. I know that some things I say, I need to watch myself because most people wouldn't understand it. But what I'm doing is to deal with problems before they become them. You know, in a way, I kind of see myself like a gardener. I'm someone who goes around and tries to get all the weeds out so that the other innocent ones can live. Well, I guess no plan is innocent, just like no person is. But I like to try and save the people with the biggest hearts. That way the world will be a warmer place, like my sunshine wanted. And that way, even you can enjoy it too, Moonlight. That is my goal in all this. That once we're all done with everything that needs to be done, no one else has to be hurt. And I know that day might be a long ways off, but I consider my mission to be very important. In fact, one wrong move, and they could win. And then the only ones who benefit are the greedy ones. The ones that would choose to sacrifice lives for money. Something that quite disgusts me even now. Not because I'm surprised. I wish it was a surprising thing. But no, it's not. It's something very common. People who would sell lives. Or ruin them for money. Those people, in my opinion, don't deserve the world they live in. And that's why I need to get rid of them. Because if I don't, no one will. They have too much power, but I can get past that power. There's almost no one who can stop me. And if they tried, well, I won't kill anyone who doesn't deserve it. I just knock them out for a while. Unless they get in my way. That is a sort of caveat. I do feel bad about it. Your situation, I know it's not fair, but I'm trying my best to make it as fair as I can. Because I know how being kidnapped and forced into a situation, it's not nice for you. So I'll do my best to make it the best it can be. But you have to understand, if I let you go, then that's like letting all of those other people go. And if you happen to tell anyone, it would be terrible. How about this? I'll make you a deal. If you happen to prove to me you're loyal. After some time, and after some cases get solved, then I'll let you go if you really want to. But that doesn't mean you have to go. If you do want to stay, you're welcome to forever. I'd be happy to have you there, as well as maybe even date you. I guess I'm a little more blunt than normal, right? When I tell you I'm attracted to you, that I want to date you, I mean it. It's as simple as that. There's no reason to complicate things, right? Why make them complex when they can be simple? That's why I tell it how it is. And if you ask me anything, I'll of course tell you the truth. It doesn't matter how dark or bright it is. I just want it to be easy, simple. That way I don't get misunderstood. I'm really bad with getting misunderstood sometimes. Even now, I'm painted as this villain who hunts people ruthlessly. But would you really consider what I do ruthless? I've only ever killed people who deserve it. And tried to make the world a better place. Because I know I can't do it from the hero side. That's why I moved to the other side. And while I might not strictly speaking be a villain, I'm seen as that by most people. Mostly because the people who are afraid of me want to besmirch my name, so that there's more chance that people are afraid of me. Then there's more chance that they can get me behind bars. And they're safer that way. After all, it's all about what people want. And a lot of people want something that just isn't good for others. Something that is selfish. And I don't want to be like them. I don't want them to be a part of my life. I want the people who I love to be a part of my life. And I don't want to have to hide. And I won't forever. Once I take down the people at the top, everything's gonna fall in place. Then I'll be able to do things better. I'm not saying I'm going to rule from the top, but I might be that silent justice that happens because no one else could make it happen. In fact, in general, I'd say that nobody else is better at what I do in terms of this. Just because my quirk does allow me to get to places pretty easy, although quite naked. I do wonder if it's a blessing or a curse that the last thing they see is my willy. Then again, most don't even get to see me. It just doesn't work that way. Just because I'm too good at what I do. Not to brag or anything, I just am efficient. I've practiced a lot. I've had to do this many times. And there was so much to prep before I even started. And now that it's just beginning, I need to make sure I stay true to the end. So I hope I've at least broken the ice between us. So, what's your story? I know a lot about you already, but I bet there's plenty of things I don't know. Please share anything you'd like. And if you happen to be attracted to me, maybe we could try that dating thing while we're at it. I see no reason not to. As far as I know, I can trust you. For now. Just don't try and backstab me, or else, well, you know, it just has to happen that way. Oh, I see. So you're someone of a lot of talent. I like that. Well, at least it's talent in my book. It takes a lot of effort to look that cute, I bet. Oh, all natural, you say. That's even more impressive. And besides that, I think your attitude's very good. You've handled this whole situation quite well. In fact, you handled it so much better that I barely feel like it's this situation at all. Wow, you made me feel like this is more like a date than it is a actual kidnapping or something. But that's just splitting hairs. I hope you'll enjoy yourself here for the time that you are here, because it's better if you do. And it may sound strange, but I want you to. I want you to be able to be happy. I have quite a lot here, and while I can't trust you out of my sight yet, I hope you'll want to stay in my sights, if that makes sense. I know it's a bit abstract for me to say, but I really do like you. And, you said you did admire me before, so does that admiration still translate to something now? Oh, looks like I'm a winner. I get to have the admiration of someone I kidnapped? That's just too convenient. Don't go getting Stockholm Syndrome on me. That would complicate things a little. Well, actually, thinking about it, it might be quite handy. I'd like to have your admiration like that. I wish you could look up to me in that way, too. See me as your other half. I'd like that, Moonlight. It's definitely something different for me. Oh, about Sunshine. Well, they told me to be happy, even in spite of their passing, and I took it to heart. I still will never forget them. and they'll always be a big part of my heart, but some part of me after the years had to move forward. If I didn't, there's no way I could be this brave. And if I didn't have hope for something like that, for someone to care about me too, then it wouldn't be easy to go on. I guess being loved is something that matters a lot to me. I've never been good at being completely alone, and I've had to shoulder a lot of this on my own. Being hated isn't easy. But doing so for the right reasons, I believe, sets you free. And then somebody who actually is meant to be there, someone who truly cares about you, then they have an opportunity to appear. And something in my heart might be a little silly, but it's telling me you might be that one person who cares. The person who doesn't see me as a monster, but as more of a force of nature, something that needs to happen to make the dream come true. Maybe you see the dream like I do, or maybe you will in time. I definitely have hope that you will. Maybe it's a pipe dream, but it also feels right. I can't just give up on hope, especially not when I see you. You have a nice smile on your face right now, and maybe it's because you can see my passion. I sure hope that's what it is. When I look at you and I smile, I actually mean it. Well, whenever I smile, I do mean it. People they want to see me as this smiling, sadistic person, but I'm not. I like to care about all my actions, make them really count. And that's why I've been so conflicted with how to handle this situation. I mean, not really conflicted in my action, but conflicted in how I want to approach you. I don't want to mess things up. And while I'm pretty good at being blunt, I'm not so good at subtleties. And so when I say I like you, I really mean it. And I hope it comes across that way. I hope you can see it as clear as day. That I'm not a bad guy. I'm just playing the role of one to make sure that the world isn't too bad. I see where it's going, and the corruption just keeps spreading. And if I let it do that too long, well, then I won't be able to save anything. I'll be helpless, hopeless, and all around bad. And then how could I face anyone I care about? Tamaki, Nejire, they'd all see me as this monster who doesn't do anything. And if I'm gonna be a monster in their eyes, I might as well make sure that they understand why I do it in the end. That I accomplished something good. And I know they wouldn't see me as that, not now, but it still hurts to see that they don't understand why I'm doing it. They don't understand what happened. And I will tell them someday. Maybe you can help me. If you want to, that is. Again, I'm not trying to force you to do anything. I never make light of your feelings. Trust me. It's not anything I ever want to do. I won't let myself become someone who trounces over other people, especially those weaker than me. And for the record, I'm not saying you're weaker than me. You definitely aren't. You're strong in your own right. You faced this situation and even had a pretty good bravery about you. I'm impressed. And it seems like you trust my words, which is good. You know I wouldn't lie. You must have really seen it in my eyes that I'm not different than back then. Even if my motives changed, even if my goals changed, my passion didn't. My heart didn't. I still have a big heart for people who are suffering, people who need help. And I want to save people. I don't just want to hurt them. The people that deserve the hurt. I want them to be taken care of, yes, but I don't even wish bad on them. I go to their graves too, and I wish them well, that maybe through this, they found a new path. Maybe they found redemption, especially to those I've wronged. I feel like I owe them a big apology and a hug, but since I'll never be able to do that, I just do the first one. And I'll continue to do so. I have the weight of everything on my shoulders, but it feels nice to know I don't have to do it alone anymore. And to have such a cute subordinate, I see I'm not the only one who's bold. Uh-oh, kissing me right then and there must only mean one thing. That you do want me as your boyfriend. Oh, was I wrong? You're not denying it, so I can only assume it was the truth. So say something if you don't mean that. You're really cute. And not denying anything, so I'll take that as an invitation. But just say something if you don't feel that way. Sharing in a kiss with you. It's exhilarating. I forgot what kisses felt like. I know that might sound sad to say, but it's the truth. I missed a lot of this. You really are like moonlight to me. Like an eclipse. It's kind of strange how much you fit in my arms like this. How much I want to get to know you. How much I feel like my defenses are down. So just don't try and betray me now. You'd break my heart before you'd break my soul. That's not what's gonna happen, right? I trust you, even if it's just a little so far. But what better way to build trust than to leave everything on the table? And I could show you that I'm not all talk. You're pretty tasty. I've got to say that. Not bad, Moonlight. Just relax. Trust me. You're by no means vulnerable. But you're hella cute. Don't go getting impatient on me. There's more where that came from. I guess it's not an exaggeration to say I want to love you. Though that's metaphorically what might be right now. I want more than this, 'cause I'm greedy. Would you expect anything less of me? I mean, I am a villain, right? Don't get in a bunch now. Or do, 'cause you're extra cute when you do. Love is such a strange thing, isn't it? But I want to share in this strange thing with you. Not for any particular reason. Just because you're special. Special is arbitrary, but I choose to place the value in you. And I can see it big time. Right, less talking. More action. Not so crazy. Unless you want that path, then I can oblige. Not too bad. Guess you're like me. You don't know when to quit. Things go a little crazy, and you just adapt to them. I like that. It'll definitely do you a lot of good coming up. Especially when we do more like this. Well, things definitely aren't going as planned. Though plans are kind of for the weak, aren't they? I like to be prepared, and they're good to a certain extent, but following my heart is my true motive. So, I'll consider this a win. And you're super cute. So, us kissing, it just makes things more special in the end. Because I'm certain we'll share in lots of good times. It may seem like it, but this is the start of something beautiful, I think. Well, I can't be sure, but that's what my heart tells me, so of course it must be. What do you think? Do you like the name Moonlight? I sure hope you do. I picked it out just for you. And I don't usually give people nicknames. Only the most special people get those. And sometimes I do look back. I wish things could be different. But I can't regret it. And I think regretting it is pointless. It'd just make me sad for no reason. And I'm not sad. I'm happy right now. Even if I'm still struggling with certain things. I don't think it's good to hold on to the bad. Don't you think? The more good you can hold on to, the better. I'm glad to see you smiling. It's a lot better than the gloomy atmosphere I kind of made at the start. Sorry if I was too serious, but I did mean what I said. I just like to be honest with it. It may be a bit blunt, but I hope you understand why. It's for the greater good. And I know that rhetoric can be very dangerous, but I need to make this work. If I don't, I think it's gonna be hard to justify my own happiness, my own elated status and all that. If I just stood there and accepted it, the free pass, I'd never be able to respect myself or look in the mirror, ever again. Instead, I think it's better to do my part. And this is where my heart has led me. It may not be the most glorious path, but it's definitely one that's needed in the world. If I need to be the Grim Reaper for those who are bad, then I'll be that gladly. I may not seem like a Grim Reaper. I think I smile too much for it personally, but I could be one. Well, I guess it's not a matter of could be. I am the Grim Reaper of sorts. So how's it feel to have kissed the Grim Reaper? To have him hold you in his arms? Was it warmer than you expected? That's true. Apparently I am quite warm. So I guess I failed the Grim Reaper test right at the start, eh? I don't mind. If I have to fail that way, it's much better than failing another way. If I can be the warm Grim Reaper you need, and the world needs, that's what I'm talking about. Though if I could be your personal Grim Reaper, I wouldn't mind. I won't be reaping your soul anytime soon. Unless, of course, you stab me in the back. Then I might have to. But you wouldn't do that, right? As long as you're on my side, it's gonna be all good. Of course, there may be a bump in the road, if you know what I mean. It's your imagination. I'm not suggesting anything. Unless you want me to suggest something. Though I don't think I'm good at subtleties, so I think you're overthinking things. Maybe. Teasing you. Of course I'm not teasing you. Why would I do that? Because it's fun? You do have a point there. But I'm not one for teasing usually. I might make an exception for you, though, since you look like you like it. Fine. Maybe I am teasing a little. We'll see what happens. Maybe we can stay together forever, like I intended to do. I always wanted to start a family, though I'm not sure what I mean by that. I just mean be with someone forever. Take care of these puppies and going about my life with pride. Pride that I know I did the right thing. That's what I want today to be. Mark the first step towards that. Though it's hardly the first, it might be the most memorable. Being able to be by your side, it makes me happy. And it makes me feel accomplished too. Like I'm really not doing this alone. And maybe I didn't give you the most choice, but you gotta understand, I gave you more choice than most. And it means a lot to me that you took the chance, and that you're a fan of mine. Trust me, Sunshine, I'm no different than I was before, and I'll prove it to you. My actions will all be the same, with slight differences, of course, but I'm still me. I'm still the hero you fell in love with all that time ago. And I'll always be. As long as you agree to always be with me. You know, on second thought, I might not mind giving you some Stockholm Syndrome. So what do you say? Want to get painfully obsessed with me? Trust me, your heart's in the right place. I can tell. Now, I just gotta get in that place too. So I think I will. It doesn't look like you're gonna say no anytime soon.